Morning, everyone. We're now going to do my sixth game of Jeopardy for the Sega. I currently have a 5-game winning total of $208,000. So we'll see if I can add on to my $208,000. If you saw my last game, I did my 8th game for the PS2 and I won $11,000 despite not coming up with the correct response. Pete and Jody are my opponents. I have about 24 minutes left on my camera, so I'm going to see if I can do well on this one.
You are the category.
The funnies. Ancient history. Medicine. U.S. states. Firsts and inventions. These categories I'm going to try. And I'll start off with U.S. states for 100. 13th to enter the Union. It must have been Providence, or we'd have a flag with 12 stripes. Rhode Island.
You are correct.
Uh-huh. U.S. states for 200. While New York is the Empire State of the North, this is the Empire State of the South. Georgia.
You are correct.
Okay. U.S. states for 300. The geographic center of this state is Delaware, 25 miles north of Columbus. Ohio?
You are correct.
Yes. No, Stray Venus or Ricky will be happy that I got that. U.S. states for 400. Both Sun Valley and the craters of the moon are tourist attractions in this state. I'm going to say Idaho.
You are correct.
I did a state report of that in 6th grade. And I know that for a fact. U.S. states for 5. Francis Scott Key didn't have to leave his home state, to spend the night near Fort McHenry. I don't know. Let's see if Jody knows. Maryland, that's what I thought it was.
You are correct.
I didn't want to take that chance. The funny's 100. This fat cat celebrated his 10th anniversary with a TV special in May 1988 on CBS. Garfield?
You are correct.
Yes, it is Garfield. I'll take the funnies for 200. In June of 1988, she fell in love with Sluggo, but he was afraid to commit, so it only lasted a week. Jody rings in. Nancy.
You are correct.
So she's up to 700 now. Medicine 100. Favorite soap opera disease characterized by memory loss? Shampoo? I know for a fact that shampoo causes memory loss.
Sorry?
No. Or maybe it's amnesia. Yep. I don't know why I put shampoo now.
Correct.
It's alright though. So Pete's on the board with 100. Back to the funnies for 300. This creator of Steve Canyon died in April of 1988. Jody rings in. Milton Kenneth.
You are correct.
And as a result of that, Jody and I are tied at 1,000. First 100. The Sumerians, not Fred Flintstone, got this rolling around 3500 BC. It's the wheel.
You are correct.
Yes. First for 200. Appropriately named comic strip, which was the first to appear in a newspaper in color. Yellow Kid.
You are correct.
Uh-huh. First for 300. Answer there, the Daily Double. I have 1,300. I'm going to make it a true Daily Double. The first trans-US highway was completed from New York to here. I'm going to say San Francisco.
You are correct.
Double my money to 2,600. First for 400. First president to be inaugurated in Washington, D.C. Jefferson. And since we're pressed for time, I'm only putting in last names only.
You are correct.
Yes. First for 5. Dan Gullenpaul found both this first radio quiz show and an almanac with the same name. Information, please.
You are correct.
Yes. The funnies for 400. He rules his legion fort with an iron fist. Literally. Pete rings in. Vermin Croc.
You are correct.
Okay. Ancient History 100. Though an ethnic Macedonian, she was the most famous queen of Egypt. Cleopatra.
You are correct.
Yes. Medicine for 200. To a layman, it's lockjaw. I have no clue. Pete does. Tetanus.
You are correct.
Inventions 100. It is generally believed that gunpowder was invented in this country. It's China.
You are correct.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit this game in 3 parts, but I'm certainly going to try. Funnies for 500. The last name of this comic strip is sometimes Flagston. Pete rings in. Hi and Lois.
You are correct.
Alright. Inventions for 200. Himself blind, he modified a military secret code to invent writing for the blind. Louis Braille. We're pressed for time on this part, so I'm going to put in his last name.
You are correct.
Yep. Now to 3,900. We're going to stop here for part 1. See you guys for part 2.